In 2003, MakeAWish UAE was established under the kind patronage of Her Highness Sheikha bin Mohammed bin Saif Al Nahyan as a fully licensed establishment from the Ministry of Social Affairs of the United Arab Emirates, only to become one of the most successful organizations to date. Since 2003, MakeAWish UAE has granted more than 4,000 wishes for children with a critical illness. With this amazing feat, it has brought happiness and joy to those misfortunate children and their families and loved ones. In order for MakeAWish UAE to grant these wishes, it counts on the generous donations and participation of companies, establishments, and generous individuals who are kind enough to lend their support and sponsorship financially and through many services and in-kind donations. MakeAWish UAE has amassed hundreds of registered volunteers in the UAE since its inception. The volunteers participate in many tasks, from granting the wishes to the organization and administrative requirements of running this humanitarian ship. The UAE is home to hundreds of children between the ages of 3 years to 18 years of age with a critical illness. MakeAWish UAE aims to grant their wishes no matter where the children come from or who they are. MakeAWish UAE plans to extend its area of operations to include the GCC and the entire Arab world.
Hello, Mr. Hani, and thank you for your time today for this small interview.
It's our pleasure to have you here, and as you know that we are always welcoming you and anybody else to come and know much more about what we do, and it's such a great privilege to have you here.
Mr. Hani, can you give me a brief about the nature of MakeAWish organization?
MakeAWish Foundation is a non-profit organization. In the UAE, we are working under the umbrella of the Ministry of Community Development, and we are specialized in one thing and one thing only, which is granting wishes for children who are suffering from life-threatening medical condition between the age of 3 to 18. By granting wishes, we try to give the child hope, strength, and joy to move on and continue his journey. And we are hoping, inshallah, by the end of the journey, he will be cured and will be normal as back again.
How do MakeAWish operate their activities?
We have a number of activities inside the UAE. Of course, whenever we talk about activities, I'm talking about all the activities that we are doing here. The main activity, which is granting the wishes, we are coordinating with hospitals inside the UAE, where we meet the child, interview the child, get his or her wish, back to the office, design the wish for him, anticipate, and then it ends up with granting his or her wish. This process, we call it the wish journey. It starts with almost impossible and end up with unforgettable. It should be a very happy journey for our children. So this is the major activity we do. Of course, we have a lot of activities in different sectors, like, for example, media, like social media, but the major activity, the major core of this foundation is through this process.
And how do MakeAWish raise their funds?
We have a number of methods that we are using inside the country. And through that method, we do a number of events, activities, and through those, we collect funds. One of them that, for example, we used to do every year is the gala dinner. But of course, now it's stopped because of COVID-19. One of them is, collaborating with corporate, where they sponsor a number of wishes. One of them is using the digital marketing, where people can donate through SMS, through our website, and also through our bank accounts. And we have also the clothes container. Maybe you have seen some of them, these boxes all over Abu Dhabi State. And we have also the coin collect box, which people can donate through it. We have a number of events and activities that we do through the year, and through it we collect funds, and it all goes to support the foundation's mission, which is grant the wishes.
Who is the main fund contributor for MakeAWish?
We in the foundation, we believe that the community, whenever I say the community here in the country, I can mention everybody. I cannot say that, for example, X or Y or Z is the main contributor. all of them support the foundation in different areas. I can see, for example, individuals, like for example yourself and others who are paying small amount of money or big amount of money. Those are our target or main contributors. At the foundation, we have, let's say, I can say it's like a basket with a lot of donors. It can be small amount, it can be big amount, but all of them really matters because all of them affect well and help us with our mission.
How the accountability practices of MakeAWish?
Well, we, of course, as a non-profit organization, we have to be very transparent and we have to be very, open to all the donors. That's why we do the audit every year. And for every donor, we have to send him or her a report about where his money or her money goes, for which wishes, how many wishes we grant this amount of money. Even those who are supporting us through, let's say, social media or through digital fundraise, we always put cases on our website and our social media about those kids and where the money goes. So the donors know exactly how much he paid for us and where the money goes and how much it rewarded. And I believe this is one of the major trust area between the donors and between the foundation, because we have donors for the last 10 years who are keep donating to the foundation, and they will not continue if they don't feel comfortable and feel that there are transparent between us and them.
So, do you think your accountability practices are satisfying the donors?
I believe so, and maybe that's why we still have a lot of donors who are coming to us every year and pay the money to us. And they said, I was so happy with collaborating with you guys previously, and we have allocated this amount of money to go and grant more wishes. So we always ask them to come and join us when we grant the wishes. And it's always our pleasure to host them here in the office or outside where they can see where the money goes. And we told the children that those are the donors who were able to support you to grant the wishes. So I believe it's one of the best practices, to link between the donor and the people who will receive, this donation, and make sure that it's accountable, it's transparent, and it's always add value to the foundation.
What kind of dilemma that you face while practicing accountability to donors and beneficiaries?
I believe sometimes maybe one of the challenges, is the time issue with the foundation. Because sometimes we might meet children who are on the final stage. Sometimes we need to work very fast to grant his or her wish. To some donors, it's acceptable, let's go for it. And to other donors who might be working with us for the first time, they might take time, where the circle of money until it comes to your foundation and then you can grant the wish, it might take some time. And sometimes we don't have that time to go with it. So I believe time is always one of the best, one of the challenges that we are facing at the moment. Maybe another challenge is to understand the mission of the foundation, where we are here to serve those children. Those children are our superstars. Those are our heroes. We are here to make them happy, to grant their wishes. So we have to understand that we deal with children, and normally children, whenever you meet with them and ask them what you wish for or what you are aiming to, they will expect to have it next day. So again and again, to understand the mission of the foundation and time are the most two challenges that we are facing.
Based on the current situation in UAE due to the COVID-19 situation, what do you expect accountability should be viewed and be practiced in MakeAWish organization?
See, we have to understand the current situation, and due to COVID-19, we have to understand that always safety comes first, our children. So how we can make sure that we grant their wishes, but first, safety comes first. That's why sometimes we start now, for example, in 2020, we start to interview children online, and then we start to grant their wishes as well online. So let's say his wish is to have a laptop, Xbox, or PlayStation, or whatever. We buy it from the shop, we hygiene it on the official way, and then we send it to them by courier. So he or she, even during the COVID-19, during all these challenges, they still need to have hope. They still need to feel special. They still feel that we can do something to them. And I believe that it's a challenging situation, and it's vary from country to country. It's vary from community to community. But alhamdulillah, I believe we have the right infrastructure here in the country to build on it. And our business was moving and moving and moving. Of course, we heard a lot of countries that has been go through worse. Some of them that has been lost a lot of situations. But again, alhamdulillah, I believe here we're still much better than others.
MashaAllah, yeah. Alhamdulillah. This is the last question I have, Mr. Hani. I really thank you for your time. Thank you for all the information you gave. Really appreciate it. And it was really my pleasure with you.
It's our pleasure all the time. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for this interview, and we're looking forward to more collaboration, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
السلام عليكم.
السلام عليكم.
أهلا يا أماني.
السلام عليكم يوسف.
عليكم السلام.
كيف الحال يا عمر؟
زين الحمد لله. أنا كويسة.
حسألك بعض الأسئلة بسيطة هي وحلوة في نفس الوقت، وحابين نعرفها شو هي الأشياء المفضلة عندك.
ممكن تقول لي شو لونك المفضل؟
الأحمر. كل الألوان.
شو أكتر مادة بتحبها في المدرسة؟
الرياضيات. العلوم.
نحن مؤسسة تحقيق أمنية، نحقق أمنيات الأطفال الأبطال اللي نفسك، فأباك تغمض عينك وتفكر أكثر شيء أنت تتمنى نحن نحقق لك إياه.
أي شيء.
أي شيء في خاطرك أنت شو تتمنى؟
بلاي ستيشن. آيفون. لابتوب. نيتي إن أنا أحصل على بلاي ستيشن 4. شكرا لمؤسسة تحقيق الأمنيات.